Hey, Chuck here, Corner Store Card Collector, back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to do a hodgepodge of stuff that I have in my collection. I was watching Orlando, A Collector's Dream, a little while ago, a few days ago, and he did a video on a binder that he had with just a bunch of stuff in it. So that kind of gave me the idea that, you know what, I have a binder similar to that too, so I'd like to maybe display that off. It's got a bunch of autographs in it, just a bunch of odds and ends. My collection is very vast. I mean, it's not just sports cards. As you can see behind me, I rearranged some of my memorabilia, swapped some stuff out, put some new stuff up. I'm getting ready for my video that I'm going to do on my card room. So I'm going to show my card room off here in a little bit. I still got a little bit of squaring away to do. Once I get that done over the next week or so, I'm going to get that video done. But anyway, yeah, I just have a bunch of stuff that I just collected over the years, not necessarily sports cards. There are some sports cards in the binder, but anything sports I collect. So let's see what I got. All right, let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what's in this binder. All right, so as I was talking in my intro, I just wanted to do a little video tonight showing you some of the stuff that I have in my not so much sports cards, but some of the other stuff that I have in my collection. Okay, so I have a binder here full of some stuff. I also have some stuff that doesn't fit in a binder that I'll show off at the end of this binder. So let's just go through the binder and see what I got in here. And I have there's just a whole bunch of different things. The first thing I want to show you is one of these Pro Bowl guides. So I was fortunate enough to go to one of the Pro Bowls when the Pro Bowls were still hip in Hawaii. This was in 2003. So this is one of the brochures that they handed out there. It's basically the program of how the Pro Bowl was laid out for that week. There's the schedule. I'm not sure if you can read that now, but that's basically the schedule for the 2003 Pro Bowl. It went from January 26th to February 2nd of 2023. I was fortunate enough to be stationed in Hawaii for about 5.5 years, so I really enjoyed that. That particular year in 2003, the Marines from my unit were selected to do the flag on the field, so that was kind of cool. We got in free, but just the whole atmosphere for the whole week, getting autographs and going to the Pro Bowl experience where you get to meet the players and you can buy a bunch of good stuff, and that was a pretty good time. Okay, so on this first page here, just a couple of box tops. Looks like I got one with Marshall Faulk's rookie on it from the 1993 or 94 Classic draft. And then I got a 1997 box top for Topps Finest with Thurman Thomas on it. The card looks pretty cool on it, so I kept it. And it's just got a series of autographs here. Some have signature, some don't. Jim Kelly. This looks like it's Eric Moulds or Chris Kelsey. Yeah, Chris Kelsey. Marshawn Lynch. Nice Reggie Jackson pose. Not sure who this autograph is. I can't really make it out. I don't remember who it was. The autograph's in blue and it's on the dark part of the jersey, so I can't really make it out. I didn't waste too much time on it. Eric Montross of the Boston Celtics. This one, I don't particularly remember who this one was, but it's a goalie for the Boston Bruins. Peter McNeely, boxer, was called the Hurricane. Scott Zolak, Patriot quarterback, I believe, during the 90s, way before Tom Brady got there. This is a basketball player, not too easy to say his last name. Lou Teosopoulos. He played for the Boston Celtics back in the 50s. This one, I don't remember who this one was. Oh, Asante Samuel. Nice autograph. Adam Oates with the Mighty Ducks. You got the dangerous Donna Rosenblatt. Nice boxing pose. Togo Poloazzi, I think that's how you say his name. Another Celtic from the 50s. You know, my wife was just up here prior to me shooting this video. There's another thing I'll tell you about here when I get to it. But as I was looking at this photo, I said, can you notice anything in that photo that's different? And I'm not sure if you guys notice it, but I'll give you a second to look at it. Just take a look at the photo and see if you can see what's wrong with the photo. All right, I gave you enough time. All right, so if you look at his jersey number is number 12, but he's wearing jersey number, or short number 18. I'm not sure if that's coincidence. I'm not sure if it was designed that way, but it doesn't make any sense to me that you would wear a number 12 on your jersey and then a number 18 on your shorts. So yeah, that was pretty weird to see that. Got a nice action photo here of Jerry Rice. Let me pull this one out of the binder here. This is pretty cool. So it's kind of like the Sports Flicks cards from, I think they were from 94, 95. Yeah, but it's a pretty neat Jerry Rice card. Nothing on the back. It's a blank card. But it's pretty heavy stock, and it's, you know, it's got that Sports Flick action to it. So that's pretty cool. Here I got some 2009 Philadelphia cards that came one per box. They were inside of a cellophane pack or like a tinfoil type pack on the top of the box, so you only got them if you bought the box. There's AJ Hawk, Patrick Willis, and some of them came autographed. Joe Green. And then I got two of them that were autographed by this gentleman. I'm not sure who. Brian Orakapu. Yeah, I got two of them, one on that side, one on this side. So I got two of those. This one's kind of cool. This piece right here. This is a LeBron James commemorative card from 2003. I think that might be his rookie year. It's either 2002 or 2003. It's by Upper Deck. And it is a collectible. I got this in I bought some cards off of, I don't know if it was QVC or one of those channels that you can buy things off of back in the 2002, 2003 timeframe when you used to be able to buy cards off of those home shopping networks. And I got a bunch of different types of things in there, this being one of them. I'm not sure if this is worth anything, but it talks about him taking his high school to the national championship in Ohio. To, you know, maybe is he going to be the king of the NBA also. Not sure if this is a card that would be graded or not, but it's just a really cool tribute card to LeBron James. Put that back in there. That's pretty cool though. I thought it was numbered, but I guess it wasn't. Got a Minnesota team card here. Most of my team pictures that I have were from 1990 when I was a very young Marine. I was very heavy into mail order from Tough Stuff. I don't think Beckett did it back then, but Tough Stuff would provide addresses to all of the NFL clubs, actually all of the major sports clubs, and then they would also have sections in there where you could actually send cards to individual players. So the majority of these team photos on good card stock are probably from the 1990 or 91 era. So here's Minnesota Vikings. This one's the New York Giants, 1990. Pretty neat. Got a nice Hockey Heroes collectors commemorative set. This one's numbered out of, I don't know the actual number, but this is 5,318 from the 1992-93 Upper Deck set, the Wayne Gretzky Hero set. Yeah, it's not, don't remember where I got this from. It may have been something that was given away at a card show or something, but yeah, I got that in my binder. I'll put that back in there. Got a 1990s Cincinnati Bengals team photo. Got some uncut cards. Not sure if these came out of Beckett or Tough Stuff, but these look like they were the 1993 or 94 tops. There's a 6-card perforated set here. These two right here are commemorative tickets. This one's got Hank Aaron's signature on it, or auto on it, as you can see it right here. I also got this in the box that I bought off of QVC. And then this one is a commemorative ticket for the All-Star Jam Session. Looks like that went from February 7th through the 13th, 2000. And then the back side of this Hank Aaron one is numbered out of 3,458. Cool little commemorative 8.5 by 11 of Mark McGwire. Limited edition of this is of 20,000. This is depicting his, what is that, 50, 57, 61, 62, and 63, or I'm sorry, 60, 61, and 62 home run season. So that's early 2000s. Got a Miami Dolphins team picture, 1990. Nice autograph of Sherman Williams when he was playing with the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I got a certificate of authenticity on the back there. So, yep, Sherman Williams. This one's pretty neat. I don't know where I got this from, but this is back in the days when phone cards were popular, back in the mid-90s. Got lots of football ones. But this one's a Coca-Cola one, and it's kind of neat. None of them have been used. It's out of 2,500. This is 150 out of 2,500, but there's 5 different phone cards in there. You got 30 minutes, you got a 10-minute, you got a 15-minute, you got a 5-minute, and then you got a 60-minute phone card. So I know Coca-Cola stuff is collectible. I'm not sure what this is worth or if it's even worth anything, but it's just kind of cool to have the phone cards with Mr. Santa on it. Put this back in there. Got a cool little Guardians of the Galaxy that turns into a 4. It's folded into a 4-par, and when you open it up, it's just a big poster of the movie or pictures of the movies. Here's a 1981 picture album of the New York Yankees. Just several pictures inside. I'm not going to take it out because the perforated end is starting to kind of wear on it, and I don't want the pictures to start becoming loose. So yeah, that's a pretty cool magazine or book of all the top players that were playing for the Yankees in 1981. Here's a cool little stamp collection. I know Orlando showed his stamp collection of a couple of, I think that his were baseball players. This one is commemorative baseball parks, like classic parks. So there's 10 different parks on here. So there's 2 of each for 20 stamps. And these are all of the old parks from back in the day. So that's a pretty cool little piece to have here. Okay, next I have, this looks like it's an early advertisement for the 1993-94 Ultra for basketball. The back side of it, it's got just like the regular card, so I guess it's just like an uncut sheet. This one I find pretty funny. This one is, I don't know where I got this from, but it looks like it's a photo that was copied on a copy machine. And it says, to Mr. Green Beret, I am not a Green Beret, I was a Marine. So that tells me that I must have picked this up from a collection I may have bought from somebody. It says, you are the real heroes. My pleasure, Lenny Randle, MVP. And then it says on the bottom there, stay positive. So that's a kind of cool little thing to have. Next one, I have Cherokee Parks in his Duke uniform. Nice auto on there. Got a authenticity there, certificate of authenticity. Cool photo of Tony Banks when he was with the Rams. Next one, I have a Beckett cover from June of 1993. It has a signature of Tin Salmon on it. Didn't get JT Snow, but Tim Salmon's on that one, on cover auto. These ones are kind of cool. I'm not really positive where I picked these up, but these are some 33 and a half records from the 60s. I think they were from 64. And if you look at some of the prices down here, these are quite pricey. So I have the Bob Allison. I also have the Rocky Calaverdo. And then I have the Frank Robinson. But if you look at some of the prices, like the Sandy Koufax is quite expensive. Mickey Mantle's quite expensive. And I've had these for at least 20 years. So they're probably worth a little bit more. Because yeah, I picked these up in the early 2000s. And they also have a certificate of authenticity with them. They look like they've never been messed with. So I'll put that in there when I'm done. But yeah, they look like they're in pretty good condition. They've never been played. There's the Rocky one. And then there's the Frank Robinson. Don't know much, or I don't know a lot about these, but yeah, they're pretty cool to have. I didn't know they made records back in those days that had baseball players on them. Okay, here's another stack of some Reggie Jackson. I think there's 8 or 10 photos in this little packet here. Maybe one day I can get some of them signed. For those of you who were collecting cards back in the early 1990s, McDonald's did a promotional giveaway for the game day cards. I think 92 and 93, maybe 94, 2 or 3 year run that Game Day made football cards. And these were a limited edition. So I got the full set of the Houston Oilers, 1, 2, and 3. And then I got the full set of the Cowboys, sheets 1, 2, and 3. And I'm sure they represented, depending on where you were at in the country, wherever your team was from, I'm sure they had their set too. But those are the 2 sets that I have. Lots of good Cowboy cards there. A couple of cool cards here. I got a Shaquille O'Neal USA card. If I can get it out. Actually, I'm not. It's in there pretty good. Anyways, this is a Shaquille O'Neal card from the early 90s. And then this one's one of my favorite ones. So I had a chance to meet Chris Moneymaker. I don't know if this was the year that he won the National Poker, whatever the poker thing was. But yeah, I met him in Vegas, so that was pretty kind of cool to get that signature. This one's kind of cool. This is from the Pro Set. So a collage of different things. So all 9 cards represent a photo. Let me take that page out and turn it the other way. So this is kind of cool. So there's just a collage of different things here that represent the NFL, both the AFL and NFL, and then as they merged. Pete Rozelle up here on the top. Got some of the Super Bowl matchups, some of the Super Bowl winners. So yeah, it's kind of cool to have that. Got a picture of John Lennon here. When I was in California, I bought a large collection from somebody that lived way up in the mountains just outside of Sacramento, going toward Nevada. And it is signed, but when I researched the autograph, I can't find anything close to what that signature looks like on this picture here. None of the J's matched up, so had my wife also look at it, and I'm thinking that that's probably a fake. So I mean, it's cool to have in my thing, in my binder, but maybe one day I'll try and get it authenticated to know for sure whether it's really John Lennon or not. Bunch of Bills signings. As you know, I'm a Bills fan, so the majority of my stuff, I have a lot of Bills stuff. Okay, so here's one Andre Reed. One of my favorite quarterbacks, Joe Ferguson. Grew up watching him play through the 70s and 80s. Old-time running back for the Bills back in the 60s, Albert Duerson. couldn't find out who this one was. It's a newer guy, so this photo is probably early to mid 2000s, but I can't make that signature out. He signed it number 20, but he's wearing number 22 on his jersey, so I'm still researching to figure out who this is. If anybody has an idea who this might be, Florida Panther fan maybe drop a comment in the comment box and give me some ideas of who that could be. Yeah, but I couldn't find out his name. Another Eric Moulds. I'm sorry, Andre Reed. Nice action photo there. Shane Conlon, one of our decent linebackers that ended his career too soon due to injuries. Yeah, the Andre Reed here's got a certificate of authenticity. Shane Conlon. Nice Marv Levy one. Let me take this one out and show you Marv Levy. Yes. Awesome photo of Marv Levy. Just turned 100 years old. He's still alive, living in the Chicago area. Every so often, I'll catch him on one of the Bills podcasts. Still pretty sharp for 100, though. Glad he's still around. Anyways, that's Marv Levy. I got another Bills here. This one is Andre Reed again. Nice action photo against the Cowboys. Nice Hall of Famer there. Antoine Walker from the Celtics. Hockey Hall of Famer. Elmer Luck. Or Luke. Oh, Elmer Lack, I'm sorry. Elmer Lack. Got a certificate of authenticity on the back. But yeah, I like the old style hockey photos. They just look so primitive. I mean, look at the leather gloves and stuff that they used to wear, trying to stop pucks flying at you at 100 miles an hour. They didn't even wear face masks back then or helmets. So yeah, that's kind of cool to see the old rugged, old-time hockey. Got a couple of Bob Fellers. Here's a nice Bob Feller certificate of authenticity in the back here. So yeah, Bob Feller. Another Bob Feller. Signed up in the top left corner. Certs in the back. Here's an Eric Moulds. This was a thick stock card. Signed by Eric Moulds. There's another one from 97 Leaf. These cards were one per box. Actually, these ones might have even been a mail-in. I don't remember. But this one's Archie Manning. Got his autograph on the back side of it. So they came that way. This one's number 87 out of 871 out of 1,000. There were 12 cards to the set. But yeah, there's old Archie Manning's number. Here's another one from 97 Leaf. Andre Reed. And then I got a few of these 2009 Philadelphia ones. This one's of Chad Ochocinco. I'm sorry, Chad Johnson. Let's call it what it is. Anyway, this one's number 23 out of 50, and it was signed by the artist. So this is an artist proof. And all of these I've pulled out of the boxes myself, so I didn't buy these. I pulled these actually out of the boxes. These came in like one of those tinfoil cellophane packages too that sat in the top of the box. Here's another one of Aaron Rodgers, 2009 Philadelphia. Actually, no, these ones are the top. These ones are tops. I'm sorry. Have another one here of Ben Roethlisberger. Kind of cool. All three of those were tops. All right, so that's the binder. Let me move the binder out of the way and show you a couple of the other things that I got that are kind of neat. All right, let's get got a couple of these. One of them's from the National. I don't remember where I got these. I obviously wasn't a dealer at either one of these, so I don't know where I picked them up from. I don't know if somebody gave them to me or what, but this one's from the National, and this one is from like a regional show. Got a skybox card in there of John Schmaltz on it, so kind of cool to have those. This is a cool map that I pulled out of one of the magazines that I would read frequently in the 90s. The date on this is 1990, so this is when they still had 28 football teams. And you can see the depiction of where they're located within the country. Yeah, so it's kind of cool to have this. Kind of, brings back a lot of memories because I watched football for the longest time with only 28 teams. And then they went to 32 eventually. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Cool to have that. This one, I picked up from, I've had this for a long time too. Probably around the 94, 95 time frame. I met a Marine who was a bat boy for the, I think it was the Texas Rangers. And he had a bunch of stuff from the Texas Rangers, and he also had a bunch of stuff from the New York Mets. I think the New York Mets used to come to Texas maybe to do their spring training back in the 80s. I'm not really sure. But I traded him. I had a pretty nice collection of vinyl records, growing up all through my teenage years. Every time I got paid, working at the pizzeria I used to work at, I would buy all kinds of albums. Anyways, I amassed of about, maybe I had about 1,500 to 1,500 of them, and I traded every single album that I had, and he gave me all of his memorabilia that he had signed. And I'll show you that when I do my card room tour. All the baseballs that I got signed, all the jerseys that I got from him, and just a bunch of stuff. Well, this was in that package too, so these are just genuine photos. They're made by Pinnacle. So Pinnacle, I'm not sure if they made them or... I don't know if these are actual Major League Baseball players, if these were the farm team players or what they were, because I don't really know much about the Mets back in those days. But there's probably 8 or 10 different pictures in here. If anybody knows recognize any of these, I think I don't know if that's Keith Hernandez or it looks, to me it looks like him. But if anybody knows for sure any of these players, drop me a comment and let me know that these are either pro players or if they're the AAA team. All right, so anyways, these are actual photographs that were taken. They have Pinnacle on the back. Those are kind of cool to have. Okay, got a bunch of cards, strips of cards here. These are from the Rochester Americans. So these are a farm team to the Buffalo Sabres. And I have probably 4 or 5 of these, maybe 6, made by or put out by Pepsi. And they're all different ones. I don't know how many are in this set, but kind of cool to have those. I also have a bunch of these uncut sheets from NBA Hoops. Now these are both from the Golden State Warriors, so I think I picked these up in a collection that I may have bought from somebody. So there's 2, 4, 5 of these sheets. Tim Hardaway rookie on there. They're pretty dinged up. The corners are messed up and it's just been around, but it's just kind of cool to have. These ones were put out by Round Table Pizza back in the early 1990s. And then this one is also the Golden State Warriors, 92-93 time frame. 12 card set. Got a bunch of football team pictures. Here's one from the Buffalo Bills, 1986. The significance about this picture, or this team photo, it's Jim Kelly's first year in Buffalo, and it's Bruce Smith's and Andre Reed's rookie year. So you can see Andre Reed is right here. Jim Kelly's right down in here, right here. And then Bruce Smith is, where's he at? 78 somewhere. Where's he hiding it? There he is right here. Bruce Smith's up in here. And I think it's Marv Levy who's sitting in the middle here. I think it's Marv Levy's second year in Buffalo. But yeah, that's cool to have Bills team photo. Got a couple of cheerleader photos. These ones are the New England Patriots. Not really sure who Frank is, so I'm assuming that I picked this up in a collection. I might even got it at a yard sale. I'm not really sure where I got it from, but total 90s though. If you look at the uniforms and the style of their hairs and stuff, most of them have perms and things, so that's total 90s. Now this one's kind of funny. So as I was getting all this stuff prepared for my video that I'm gonna make, my wife saw this picture. She says, "Oh, you got a Rams cheerleader picture." I said, "Yep, yep." She goes, "One of my girlfriends was a cheerleader." So sure enough, her friend is on here, and she is located right here. She actually sent her a text and told her that I had this picture. She had no idea that I had this team cheerleading photo from the Rams. My wife was born and raised in Southern California, so she knows a lot of people down there, and one of her friends became a cheerleader for the Rams, and yeah, she was kind of surprised to see that I had this photo. Anyways, that was kind of cool. So I got that. I got a nice one here of the then Phoenix Cardinals, which they have since changed their name to the Arizona Cardinals. This might have been one of their first couple of years. I don't remember when they moved from St. Louis to the Phoenix area, but it was around this time. All right, so that's cool. Got that one. I got this nice Upper Deck collector's item of Michael Jordan. It's got a gold signature on it. It's not an original signature. If it was, that would be nice. But it's put out by Upper Deck, and it's number 2156. So it's kind of cool for an ESPN magazine. Looks like it was from 1998. I'm not sure what that got any value to it or not. The next thing I got is this San Francisco Chronicles newspaper when Barry Bonds hit 71 home runs. So it's been preserved in this little bubble thing here for that long. I think, what's the date on this? So it was October 6, 2001 is the date on this newspaper. So it's been in there since then. Have this nice Jordan collectible, 10 years of Jordan, of Air Jordan they're calling it, from 84 to 94. So it's just a cool calendar that hasn't been opened yet. Kind of neat. And then the last two things that I have are these two newspapers. Let me get the first one here. All right, the first one is from September 28th of 1963. It's the Sporting News. I picked these up at an antique store here in the local Longview, Texas area. And going through them, they're pretty cool to read up on some of the stories of the day. It covers mainly baseball, but about 3/4 of the way through, about 3/4 of the way through it, there's a bunch of information on football, and then they'll follow it up by basketball and then a little bit of hockey. So I got this one, and then this one. So this one is from November 2nd, 1963. Both of them were put out in St. Louis, Missouri. And what I find interesting about this one, you can see at the top, it's got football, hockey, basketball, and then baseball. You can see if you can see that up there, up top. So I was looking through this. Let me find that. I think it was on page like 14. That's too far. 14, it was 12. Oh God, I forget what page it was. Anyways, there was a snapshot in there that a little advertisement inside this magazine that talked about buying sports cards. So you can buy the entire 1963 baseball set. I think it had 578 cards or something like that, for $4.50. And then you could have bought the football set that had 170 cards in it, maybe, for $1.95. And then it also had basketball and hockey sets in it that you could buy for like $1.95 or whatever it was. Here it is right here. So if you get a read that right, if you can see that. 1963 baseball cards. And then what I also thought was kind of cool here is it says these are official autograph balls that you can get Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and 25 other signatures on a baseball for $3.95. But yeah, if you look at that, the set of 576 cards, is it? For $4.50 or so. You can get the full football set, you can get the full hockey set, and the full basketball set, all for dirt cheap. Man, wouldn't it be nice to get those prices now? All right, so yeah, those are just some of the things that I have in my collection other than sports cards. Yeah, I got a lot more of that stuff too that I'll be pulling out here over time. I'm in the process of getting all my stuff, put back in the appropriate order where it should be. I'm getting my room scored away, so I'll be shooting my my card room video here pretty soon. Okay, if you liked the video, give me a like. If you got any comments about anything or you want to know more about anything that I showed today, just go ahead and leave a message in the comment box and I'll get back to you when I see the message. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.